So let's start the second part of the neuropersonality and specific psychosomatic disorder. In this, we will start with the serotonin active dominant neuropersonality. We saw in the lecture before that serotonin can have both, can sustain the fear system and is increasing the system of fear and stress, or can help and increase the system of power. Let's say one thing very simple. Serotonin is not related with aggressiveness. So it's just a force. Let's say active serotonin personality is linked to dominance, to defense of the territory, food, sex, safety, to emotional stability, relaxation and muscular strength. In primitive animal, let's remember, like we are basically coming from worms, the first basic serotonin was all around the digestive tube, and was the molecule that were saying, okay, the digestive organ is full, that means we can survive. If it's not full, then serotonin is lowering down and is immediately activating the search system with the dopamine. In primates, in apes, serotonin is proportional higher in dominant male than in subordinate. What does it mean? That the alpha male have the highest level of serotonin of the whole group. And an incredible experiment happened when they, with a chemical drug, they try to slow down to the level of serotonin of the alpha male. And as far as the serotonin were getting lower, the alpha male, was losing his power and his dominance. And other male get higher serotonin and took his place. As soon as they stop this chemical, and this old alpha male start again to increase the serotonin, he came again to the top of the pyramid of power. We will see basically that cortisol is inversely proportional. It's very higher in the subordinate male and of the hierarchies, and is very low on the alpha male. When we have higher level of serotonin, we see that serotonin reduce aggressive behavior. And on the contrary, if we have low serotonin, this indicates low instinctual control. You lose control. So serotonin is like a buffer, something like that makes stability, strong presence, so people can see that the person is secure, and can be voted if he's a political man or a leader. Like on the other case, in violent suicide, or in people who are hurting their own body, we have always seen statistically low level of serotonin. You can see this gorilla male and this player are just the contrary, because it seems really basically the same thing. This is the effect of testosterone neuropersonality. The rage system is not just a dominance, but is a dominant aggressive quality. Male have to face each other and to win if they want to have sexual relation. So this is happening with animal or with human being. The testosterone neuropersonality is based on physical strength dynamism, sexual, of course, energy, but even aggression, gambling, risks, exploration, individualism, and competition. Is always, I'm better than you, and we can fight, and I'm sure that I'm better than you, and all the player or the people who are loser, the winner is getting higher level of testosterone. The loser are getting low level of testosterone after the game, and in every part of the world there is a visible difference between a boy who have more testosterone and a girl, but even more between a bull or an ox. An ox is a bull without the testicles, without the gonads, so there is no testosterone, and a bull is really full of anger, and he wants to kill you, and the bull is just very sweet and tranquil, so you can make it working on the field all day, and he doesn't react. So this reaction usually have the balls. Is like, did you have the ball? Is something that we use all over the world. It's something like male boy or adult say to each other, do you have testosterone? Means are you really a man or not? So it's always a way to gamble, to provoke other people. Yes, when in some competition, in some sport, athletes take testosterone to become more competitive. But the friends say as soon as they took some drug that is increasing the level of testosterone, they become nasty and they become more aggressive. They become a bad, not a good friend, but more like. So the structure, basically the structure of testosterone is increasing your power. So usually a person, when is a classical, if the man is getting closer to a good, a beautiful woman, is increasing the chest, is looking like that, is making some big breath and looking in a certain way. This is testosterone effects. And the chest is in hyper expansion. Usually the jaw is in front, is not in retraction. The eyes really look inside, and the voice is really sonant, is a high level. It's not a low level of the fearful person. It's a high level because I'm better than you, so I have to show it. And of course, on the other strength and impetuosity are basically quality, but on the other way, they have low level of care and kindness. Even with the partner, usually men have the tendencies to subjugate and oppress the women, even if he's their partner. They are confusing. It's not clear. I love you, it means I want to seduce you. I love you means I want to make love with you. And high level of testosterone are very related with jealousy and with bullying state and modes. Always there is a kind of excessive egoistic sense of the self and a superiority, a tendency to command and to prevail on other people. So testosterone is a resource, but is even something that is basically connected with all wars of the world, all violence on women, on homicide, or violence on kids or animal or anything like that. So it's a very dangerous, in a way, hormones. We must learn how to use this impetuosity, this strong energy in order to create something good and not in order to submit other people. Just have a picture how the testosterone can create the phase of exhaustion, like the dark side of hyperactivation. The excess of this hormone is always like I have to run on a high level. I have always to be aggressive. I have always to be on the spot. So after a while, the whole system gets really weak. So there is a phase of stress exhaustion, and it can lead to obsession, to paranoia, and many other diseases. Is very connected to heart and metabolic disorder, because this kind of testosterone tendency to get really angry and so is related to a particularly serious disorder or cardiovascular system, heart attack, hypertension, arrhythmia, tachycardia, and when it's going to excess, to fibrillation and myocardial ischemic disease. The risk of coronary heart disease is increased statistically with increasing level of anger. This is something that we know. These have been related to a type A personality that is always like that, aggressive, challenging, want to reach goal with a green, chronically in the fight. And this, of course, is generally a peripheral arterial disease and all heart disease. And those are people that have been chosen in a vast survey to be some of the most sexual people, sensual people of the world. To men, to women, that probably everybody knows. Sexuality is a very important system. No life could exist without the sex system. And the sex system is working with testosterone, but even with all sexual hormones, women's sexual hormones. Just let's do some understanding. International statistic on sexual behavior, from the old Master and Johnson report to the Kinsey report to the last very recent studies, reveal that only 75% of women reach full pleasure and orgasm during vaginal sex. This is a data, that an information that is really important. That means that the percentage is really low, that we lose something in our sexual life, that we are unable, because usually we are too stressed, too tense, too in our mind, so we cannot have our heart open enough to make love, to do love with somebody, to enjoy this sex and life and love experience together. So we don't merge, we do sex to each other. And so in psychosomatic, the axis between love and sex, between sexual organ and love and heart, is absolutely important. This is an axis that is very well known in all ancient tradition, all ancient psychosomatic tradition. Let's remember something very interesting. The genital in the fetus are part of the mesoderm. The mesoderm creates the heart. So the sex is part of this mesoderm, and slowly, at a certain point, very early, is migrating and goes down and creates sexual organ. So there is a deep genetic connection between sex and love. And this perception that love and sex are together, are basically the same energy, the same function, is very, very important. If we lose this togetherness between love and sex, then something is really happening. When the connection is alive, the person makes love. Instead, if the connection is interrupted, the person just have sex. We've no need to be in a loving space between your partner. So many of the problem, the psychosomatic problem, are coming exactly from this break contact, break axis, because it's a breathing, is a feeling that connect heart and genitals, and is leading to vaginism, premature ejaculation, dysfunction of the erectile functioning, anorgasmia, difficult dysmenorrhea, vaginitis, cystitis, painful during menstruation and irregularity, and prostatitis in men. So, and it's quite easy to open this channel. We just need to know the right function. So we develop in our psychosomatic mindfulness protocol many work, body work, energy work, movement, feeling, to get back to this, to open again this connection, and to feel the pleasure, the deep global pleasure to be with somebody with heart and body together. And it's really something that we deserve it. This very shortly, there is an adrenaline neuropersonality. You just remember this gazelle and this animal, both they are into adrenaline, strong neuropersonality. This one is trying to escape to survive. This one is trying to eat this animal in order to survive. And some people get into that trip and always try to find ways to get really high risk, even in living, even in relation, even in work, even in economy. No, I risk, I take from the bank money and so adrenaline is an interesting neuropersonality. Now we will go through these two main neuropersonality. One is more feminine, passive. The other one is more intensely active. So let's start with dopamine. The first base of life is like the search to survive. The search to survive is something absolutely needed. If you don't search, there is not that the food is coming into your mouth. You have to go, you have to move, you have to search for wealth, you have to search for sex, for love, for having a good space. Since the very beginning, the system is of search and passion is modulated by the dopamine molecule. And the dopamine neuropersonality is really emotional, intense and active. There is a kind of curiosity, of passion, and has been named by the Cloninger, who was a psychiatric, the novelty-seeking system. And let's see that the basic system of pleasure in the brain is activated by dopamine. It's a dopaminergic system. And in the dopaminergic system of search is already there in all animal and in reptile brain. But it's really growing up and is evolving into a very new kind of expression, emotional and social expression in mammals and then in human beings. Just look at those pictures. It's like this monkey is like, come on, come and play with me. It's beautiful. Just look at that. It looks like a kid in school. Like, no. Look at those two. Like, they are laughing. This girl and this pig. No. It's just beautiful energy. Dopamine is the neuromediator of the pleasure areas of the limbic system. Is the center, the core of the emotional brain. Dopamine neuropersonality is emotional, intense and active, is passionate, looks for adventure, is curious, and he falls in love. Ah, so beautiful, I love. He falls in love with everything. Can be a woman, can be a man, can be your dog, can be your house, can be your work, can be your search. Because in human being, this passion, this search for something new can get very high, working to get new painting, new music, new scientific understanding. The scientific search, we call it research, but it's basically there. And at the very end, this system, it goes inside and becomes the search for myself, the inner search. At the beginning, just is maybe a psychological search, but sometimes it goes even deeper, becomes the search for a meaning of life, for spirituality, for something that is behind our feeling. And the dopamine activates the erection, like even testosterone do, is a novelty seeking, and the excess of dopamine produces euphoria, but when it's too strong, it produces maniacal and psychotic episode. And it's very important, when people are too much engaged in pleasure, they lose control. And you see they are a little out. And sometimes they cannot relax and go back to normality. They want to stay always high. And high means unbalance, because we can go high and we can go low, and having a good balance. Of course, dopamine is one of the main male system that activate the activity of the brain and of the whole body system. When you take some playful activity away from a person, a deprivation of dopamine is the base of punishment process. Punishment means the person feels to be punished. I mean, and you did something wrong, so you cannot play. Stay in your room, and you cannot enjoy anymore. Very bad. Let's see soon that all drugs increase dopamine levels. Heroin, cocaine, amphetamine, ecstasy, hashish, marijuana, alcohol, tobacco, and coffee. They do many things in the brain, but one thing they do all is they increase dopamine. So it's very interesting. But let's imagine why a person should use very costly drugs like heroin, cocaine, and so, instead of just learning to play. If a person is a playful person and with body, mind, heart together, maybe he just enjoy once in a while some alcohol, something, but he doesn't need it. He cannot get into a loop, into a drug addiction. So that's why we teach many persons how to get back to their own body pleasure, heart pleasure, and just feel that they are enough. This is much more than enough. You don't need anything. So they can get to, to learn how to not to use any drug anymore. And it's really beautiful work. This is the basic of psychosomatic, learning to enjoy life. And then the other side of the mammalian brain. One is playfulness and socialization. The other is the care system. The care system is a fundamental need because we cannot survive without a care system. If the mother is abandoning you, you feel like lost, you feel like dying. If a kid's a newborn or even a kid of maybe 1, 2, 4 years is left alone in the jungle, he couldn't survive. So there is, this system is very, very important. And it's like before there is a sexual and playfulness between a man and a woman. But when a new child is born, then there is a shift from sex to and dopamine to oxytocin. And even oxytocin is helping a good sexuality. It's not the sexuality of let's do it. It's the sexuality as let's be in love with each other. Let's enjoy a different space. We can see even that many women says, well, my husband, my man, my partner is just definitely wants to do sex. And I would like something different. And sometimes women are confusing the preliminary with oxytocin care system, intimacy. And so men can try to do some performance before sex, but it's not the same. Women want to have oxytocin, care system. And let's see, oxytocin is the neurotransmitter that is the base of maternal and paternal behaviors, affectivity, care of the little one, and empathy. Oxytocin increases affectivity and memory. I remember, let's imagine how a penguin, how an animal between so many eggs that looks all absolutely the same can recognize his eggs, his small child. And this memory comes out of oxytocin. And the creation of the couple. It has been demonstrated that couple of animal, if the female of the couple have lot of oxytocin, the couple stay together and create some let's say couple. If they have low level of oxytocin, they do sex and they split. That happens in animal and in human being as well. So is the creation of this kind of intimacy, friendship, socialization, group recognition, is a kind of feeling that you can trust the other person. There is a feeling, a connection, and sometimes couple are breaking when one of the two feels that I cannot trust you anymore. You break my heart because you did something that you show that you are not really taking care of me. You are not really loving me. And empathy, friendly behavior, intimacy, sharing, attention, and kindness. Oxytocin is the most important hormones that balance stress hormones. So if a person lives a very stressful life, but he's coming back in his home and is relaxing in a loving family, then he can survive, let's say. He can balance Yes, it's a stressful day, but I come home and then I enjoy my children, my wife, my husband, my family. It's like a heart open. And when autistic children that have very strong difficulty to express their emotion are taking some oxytocin, for the time oxytocin have effect, they get better emotional expression. They feel much better. So it's something that can be really understood. And just let's see some of those pictures. When there is a lot of oxytocin, it's like people can take care not only of their own children, but of some other children. This one is beautiful. It's an Indian woman that is giving milk to a cow, to a young cow. I mean, and those kind of people, as well as all the other neuropersonality, if they have an excess of oxytocin, they choose their work according to that feeling of care. So this means that teachers, physicians, psychology, nurse, counselor are always based on this care system. So just taking care of somebody, but even people who take care of dogs or trees or life, they have this expansion. They give a heart to everybody, even of other species. Always happen that those kind of people are very sensitive and feel much pain, and sometimes they feel to be less strong than they really are, because this sensitivity makes them a little fearful. The specific difficulty, alexithymia, the difficulty to express emotion, is basically on anger and aggression. So that this difficult recognition and expression is a real tendency. And sometimes it's really difficult even to just to say no to someone. And because in the mind of the oxytocin neuropersonality, there is that I want to be a loving person. I really feel to be a good one with my heart. I want my heart open. So I don't like to be aggressive, to beat, or to make something nasty to someone. Most of the people, most of them are women, statistically, can even choose a man and being subjugated by him, because it's easy for a man having a woman that is always loving you, and he doesn't express anger and her negative feeling. So it's very easy. So I'm very sure of those people. So those people get very easily into depression, into shyness, into having a very a mood of close to subjugation. This is why the repression of anger is very concerned with breast cancer. And many of those people have problem with the breast in general and breast cancer particularly. Before the breast cancer, basically there is breast inflammation. So start with an inflammation that is a symptom of stress, and then goes worst with cancer. So there is a lot of study with breast cancer patients that shows a significant correlation between breast cancer diagnosis and excessive repression of anger and emotion in general. And even the result shows that a repression or inhibition of anger during the group of therapy for women that have breast cancer is predicting a premature death. So if the women express more, learn how to express more anger, they survive longer. So it's very important to deal and to learn to deal with emotion. The care system is so important that there is a parallel system that is the panic and sadness system. When an animal, a young animal, a young boy or girl feel to be alone, not to be loved, then the cry system is activating. So the lack of care and love activates the system of sadness, linked to solitude, panic, affective, weakness, crying, despair, loneliness, depression and panic attack. And it is so strong, this system, then even if an animal is alone and activate this closed heart system, this sad system, and is trying to cry like a cat, like meow, meow, or a bird, pew, pew, then you feel like, oh, poor cat, and you hold it, and you take it, maybe he would like to take it home, no? Sometimes you do, because it is activating your system of care, and it's really interesting. In the beginning, when you are alone, you activate the search system, the dopaminergic system, to search for more care and affection. But many people break even this second stage and close their heart, and they say, I don't want to have any more relation. Close, finished. And this is the beginning of serious depression. The heart, and there is no more a future, there is no more a vision of myself in love with somebody. Just look, those people, this is a slave, American slave. This is a Eastern person. And the expression, the body expression, is really an expression of sadness, of lower sense of self-esteem. I worth nothing. I don't deserve anything. The vitality is very low. The voice is sometimes even delicate. And this is going into depression. This is the World Health Organization epidemiological study have estimated that depression today affects 350 million people worldwide. So depression is really a very collective disease. That means that most of the people have heart closed. A closed heart is really the main central disease. And the same happen in a small percentage with panic attack. It's something that is really growing because the people get every day more stressed and tense, and they have less love, less time to relax. So the percentage is around 32%. Only in Italy there is 10 million Italians. We are 60 million Italians. One in every 6 persons suffer of depression. We have many techniques to open the heart, to release the blockage of the chest, the painful, the heart, the shoulder, the protection. And we cannot go through that. This is part of our master in psychosomatics, but you can see in the information. Let's finish with the two neuropersonality that have been. One is the neuropersonality of attention, noradrenaline, neuropersonality, mental control, stress. Look inside. This is fear eyes. This is aggressive eye. Both, they show noradrenaline. I watch you. I don't miss a single point. I'm always on the spot. No, watch out. And this is like, wow, no? Can be, is a mind state. And some people are always in this state of control, maybe controlling some other people, maybe controlling themselves. I always need to be in control. And noradrenaline is one of the stress hormone and generates a state of attention, mental acuity, tendency to rationalize, attack or lack of response. Mental concentration, rationalization, control, determination. You can use even this energy. I really want to do it. I really want to get through, to have it, and can be used in a very good way. But if it's remaining on this circuit too long, it doesn't make the playful and the pleasurable system available. Is closing the pleasure of the heart, of love, and of the body. So there is when there is a low level of noradrenaline, are creating confusion and depression. Noradrenaline is one of the 3 hormones of depression: serotonin, dopamine, and noradrenaline. When they are getting low, you are depressed. The last one, endorphin, is an endogenous morphine, is a painkiller that regulates moods, generates a sense of global well-being, gratification, happiness, contentment during meditation, orgasm, relaxation, or induction to sleep. Is a molecule, we call it, of the soul. When the soul feels pain or too much work and heavy, then the endorphin can rise up to 500 times %, and is protecting you from this pain, and is very, very interesting. The endorphin neuropersonality is tendentially a peaceful, open, harmonious person, searching for pleasure in life, in body, in sex, in loving, in care, in being with others when they are sad, in play, in thinking, in meditating, in just feeling the life in his own wholeness. So it's a very, very precious hormones. And when all the hormones are in balance, sometimes even when the people are in strongly unbalanced, this is the basis, this is the main tendency that we use for in our mindfulness psychosomatic protocol. So now is the time to find a little experience of our heart system and loving system. Okay. So instead of feeling something from outside, let's start to experiencing something from inside. This very important search system, loving system, can really be used to explore our inner world. And this is leading to an incredible new exploration lens, a very mysterious lens inside ourselves, inside our heart. Is a kind of adventure. So let's go a little deep, and maybe let's start again to close our eyes and just feel our body stretching. And let's open, and just breathe and just feel the whole body, maybe even the legs and the arms and hands. beautiful. And just feel the whole body moving. And today we will do a very short exploration on love and sadness, because sadness is something so related with love. So let's, for a moment, feel our breath. Let's go inside. We can easily feel our head breathing, nose, the mouth, getting into a relaxed state, in a present state. And let's feel our heart. And we will start to explore with a very simple practice. We call it body scan, psychosomatic body scan. In the beginning it is similar to the body scan that have been used by other group of mindfulness, but can go much, much deeper than that. Just let's feel our heart as it is now. Our throat, breathing gently all through this space is a beautiful experience. And just let's feel when the memory of when we were in a very loving relation with someone. Maybe our mother, maybe our father, maybe it was a sister, a friend, maybe even a dog, a grandma, a grandpa, maybe a lover. And just remember the sense in the body, just feel the body sense to be really open. And this incredible feeling in the beginning when we were in love, and just feeling, wow, there is a person that is really loving me, is really understand what I feel. It doesn't really love my body or my mind or my money. It's really show that he's really interested in me. He loves me. And just put your hand on your heart and just feel your heart breathe. Your heart is getting open. And when people are in love, they are basically smiling. And the chest is opening. And you can see sometimes in their eyes, in their skin, in their face, a kind of energy, electricity, of something bright, something warm. Just feel it in yourself. Just remember those moments, and then enjoy those moments, and just remember that this kind of energy is not because of the other person. This is our love energy. We can learn how to open our heart every moment. We can decide to open and live with open heart. Let's do it right now. And just feel it. And there is something beautiful. And it's warm. And it's relaxing. And just feel the whole body as the heart is opening, and from the heart your breath goes all over your body, from the head to the belly, to the feet, to the hands. We can learn how to open our heart. But I would like you just to touch in a very light way. Let's remember how many times we were sad because some relation ended, because sometimes some people died or just went away in another place, in another country. Or sometimes because love is happening and love is ending. And many times when love is over, when the relation is finished, we feel a deep sadness. Just let's focus on our heart and throat. Just very simply, let's feel what happened on our throat and heart. Usually when we feel open and happy and in love, we feel a bright energy inside the heart, a breathing throat. On the other way, when we feel sad, we can experience, is the heart open or closed? If you would design, draw the color of your heart, which color is when you are open and in love? Which color when you are sad? When you are feeling alone? And usually all over the world people say, I feel really dark, I feel a heart in my heart, like a wound. You kill my heart, you break my heart. And there is a kind of expression that depression, sadness is a dark emotion. Let's feel, sometimes we feel a feeling of the throat get closed, blocked. Or the heart is getting heavy, like there is a stone on top. But again, even when we really feel to be abandoned, if we really feel to be sad or alone, we can decide that we can even cry and weep, but we can always take our heart open. Let's do it right now. Let's do maybe few deep breaths. And just open, relax. And we can get into a different mood. So to accept even our sadness, even the feeling of aloneness, the solitude, they are part of our life. Love, sadness, joy, pain. Life is that, day, night. It's okay. Let's breathe through the heart. If you feel really heavy, just move your chest, move your legs and arms and shoulder. Open your mouth, breathe through your throat. And learn how to release those unconscious tensions, those unconscious psychosomatic blockage. We can let go. It is there, it's okay, but I don't need to make my chest close and to get really close heart. We can feel even sadness, sometimes painful, like if somebody is dying. Okay, I can even cry. And it's the right moment to cry. Wow. And life is so big, so vast. And love is so big and vast as life, and can contain, accept everything, bad and good. If you love your lover, if you love your kids, your son, your daughter, you love them even when they are sick, even when they did something wrong, as well as you loved when they are good at school or whatever. They are bad and good. Wow. 1 minute of silence. Take a deep breath. Enjoy the space of emptiness. Is empty from thought, is full of awareness, consciousness, presence. And you can choose even to make your space full of love. Very good. So slowly, let's open our eyes. And let's feel our heart even with eyes open, and our breath. And let's learn how to enjoy life and consciously change our mood. This is very interesting, very important. Thank you.